Hi, folks. Welcome back to Pop Pop Fizzle. I'm Jeff.
I'm Heidi.
And we are here to react to the latest episode of DC Universe's Stargirl. We're on episode 4, which is called Wildcat. Before we jump into the episode, we'll recap a little bit about where we are with this. Not as far as the show itself. We assume you've been watching that. But last time we watched Stargirl, we know that she broke into the Justice Society headquarters.
And stole stuff.
Stole stuff, as all heroes do. Yeah. All good heroes steal.
What a thief.
No, But I said, if you recall, we can rewind the tape. But if you recall, I said what I hope doesn't happen is I hope she doesn't just take all this stuff and then just dole it out to her friends that she barely knows at school who have problems that need working out, because it seems like a bad idea to just hand over a lot of power to somebody that may be emotionally scarred or have some issues or need some therapy or
all too convenient
or whatever. Now, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with those people. Just sometimes when you're in the middle of stuff, you may not be the best candidate for being handed the reins to superpowers.
And I'm like, how convenient is it that the powers that she might be handing off are based on items and not like actual powers,
which is not. I mean, aside from like the helmet of Naboo, which is what Dr. Fate wears. That is the thing that
Naboo?
has yes, it's a Star Wars relic. That is the thing that has power for sure. The click pin, Johnny Thunder's pin, which is a genie. Also, that item that works. Green Lantern's ring
is the thing
that could work. But some of those powers, not so much. The Flash doesn't get his power from his helmet, that kind of thing. So I don't know where they're going with this.
And I'm really on the side of she doesn't even know the people that she might be handing these off to. Like
she barely knows herself at this point, and doesn't seem to be listening to
Voice of Experience.
The Voice of Experience, which we had a little bit of a problem with last week as well.
Yeah.
Now, I know that some of that is she and Pat are kind of navigating their relationship and figuring things out. And I get that. That's not an easy situation to feel your way through.
No.
On a personal level, let alone a superhero level. So I get that. And we'll see. We said last time that this is early days for the show. It may be still finding its footing and figuring itself out.
Yeah.
They're not on the CW yet. I think they're going to rerun these episodes on the CW later, which they'll have to probably cut around some stuff to make that happen.
Yep.
And it may pick up more of an audience there, and certainly it may influence where things go in season 2. Like if they pick up a big audience, they may see what works and what doesn't work, and season 2 may look vastly different.
I guess we'll just have to see.
We will. And a lot of shows that we've been fans of, it took them at least midway through the first season, if not
into second season,
to kind of find their footing and figure themselves out and become the show that we came to love thereafter. So we're not going anywhere. We're watching this show and checking it out and seeing what we think about this episode 4, Wildcat. But we want to know what you think, so stick around after we're done. Let us know in the comments what you thought of the episode. And the most important thing, if you like content like this, let us know by hitting that thumbs up. It helps other people find the video and keeps us doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
Also, we just learned that the terrifying statistic, scared me, horrifying, that 99.9% of the people that watch videos like this, 0.7? What did I say?
You said 0.9.
99.7%, excuse me. Of the people that view things like this are not subscribers to our channel, so please consider subscribing to the channel. We love it when you do that.
And we have some new ones that came about in the last week or so, and we are so glad to have you guys on board. Thank you.
Absolutely. Welcome aboard. And if you want to see full uninterrupted versions of these reactions, you can find those on Patreon. The first episodes are usually going to be free, and then after that, you can subscribe to Patreon. It's like $5, and you'll have access to all the shows that we react to.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to dive right into Stargirl. Hellcat, not Hellcat.
Not Hellcat, Wildcat.
Hellcat is a Marvel character. My bad, sorry.
Yeah.
The worst sound in the world.
Oh my gosh, yes. Please make it stop.
So clearly 3 months ago, her life was very different.
Indeed. Huh, left-handed.
Which makes me suspicious of her automatically.
No, it's going to make me want to watch The Stunt Person. Bad choice always.
Yeah. Girls, please don't do this. No guy that expects this of you is worth your time.
Yeah.
And the truth is, you never know who's on the other side of that phone.
Nope.
Or who's sitting next to the person on the other side of that phone. Or anything like that. Your dad moment, sponsored by...
Yeah, Pop Pop Fizzle. Oh, here it comes to everybody.
Oh, no. Jeez Louise. As someone who worked in education, there is no end to the links I would go to find out who did something like that and make sure that they receive some kind of punishment for that.
Yeah. It's not a very common name.
Don't click it.
Don't. No.
Please tell me she wasn't looking through her yearbook for candidates.
But it also said 00, so that's from 20 years ago.
You said it would take more than us to stop the Injustice Society.
I said that we couldn't stop them.
That's the same thing.
No, it's
no.
not. And if there are other villains in Blue Valley, I need to know who they are. And I need to find them without them finding us.
And how are you going to do that?
I don't know yet, all right? But when I do, I'll alert the authorities.
What if they are the authorities?
I mean, that's a good question.
True.
Uh-huh. You're right. She is picking people out of the freaking yearbook.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it. What's your problem?
You have no idea who you're messing with.
Neither do you. You will never see me coming.
Ooh.
You'll never see me coming.
Hey, Yolanda, wait.
Whatever.
What do you want?
You'll never see me coming.
That's all I want from everyone.
But, like, how does the car transform?
It doesn't transform.
I feel like it transforms.
It doesn't.
You got some trouble?
Right here in River City?
I woke up in that house all alone, and it was just so empty and so quiet, and I just had to get out of there. So
Yeah, that starts with T. That rhymes with P.
I don't know. It just.
That stands for pool.
Oh, my gosh.
Let me take a look.
Okay. Thank you, Pat.
Sure, have a good walk.
Yeah.
Have a good walk. Get some ice cream. It'll make you feel better.
Yeah, nothing gets you over a dead son and husband faster than a good scoop of ice cream.
Yeah.
And I'll never betray you.
Interesting.
Like the shade.
Ah, the shade.
I appreciate your loyalty, Doctor.
Ooh, now that would be exciting. If we get to see the shade, I'm going to be a very happy man. He looks very reptilian under that mask.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. One generation's ultimate sacrifice will protect the next.
Why are you punching your laundry?
Listen, Blondie. I don't want anything
Call
to do
me.
with anyone in the school, and there's nothing you can say to change that.
Just come over tonight. Stay for dinner even. I'll explain everything, and if you're still not sold, I promise I'll never bother you again. Here,
I'll even help you beat up your laundry.
Never should have sent him those.
He never should have shared them.
Both can be true.
Yes.
You going somewhere?
I'm leaving for good, and I just wanted to thank you. You've been so kind, and
Where are you headed?
Anywhere but here?
listen. Don't trust this town, okay?
How do you trust a town?
Hmm.
Because William didn't have a heart attack. He was healthy. He had just been to the doctor. I don't care what they say. He couldn't have. Oh, God, forget it. I said too much.
Well,
I'm
hey,
sorry.
hold on.
That's all I have left of my son. He so wanted to be like his dad.
Evil?
His dad?
Staff. It belonged to my dad.
I thought your dad was that garage guy.
Pat's just my stepdad.
Just?
My real dad was
Who?
Starman from the Justice Society.
Come on, man. Star-Lord?
My dad was a superhero. I'm a superhero.
Oh.
I've got a costume and everything.
You're super loony.
Oh, God.
That's the best response.
I love it.
No one's home. It's just us.
Justice Society.
Okay.
It smells like gym class.
Sorry, what? How? Okay, that's a little bit better.
Shut up. It's one size fits all, apparently.
Oh.
So cool.
So another enchanted object of some sort.
You want me to jump off of a building?
Sure.
I don't want you to. Wikipedia said Wildcat could jump off buildings.
Yeah, well, anyone can go on Wikipedia and say anything.
This is true.
His claws could cut through metal like butter, and it was right about that.
Okay, murdering a toaster isn't exactly risking my life.
This is true. Yolanda, good thinking.
I'll create a distraction. Okay, wait. What kind of distraction? It'll be great.
I'm going to melt their retinas again.
There are two-way radios in the masks.
But how am I supposed to get in wearing this?
You climb.
Huh.
7-4. I believe it.
How does she know that there are two-way radios in the mask?
Yeah, it's a really
She
good
said
question.
there was no manual.
Hey, everything okay?
It's hard to sneak around with a...
Glowing stick.
Yeah.
But also that nurse would have spent more than 30 seconds looking at him. Just saying.
Stop it. Stop. What? Not you. I'm just trying to shut off the power. What?
No, are you crazy? There are people on life support. I'm looking at one of them right now.
I think that was staff or you're an idiot.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Like a week?
What are we? Oh, visitor logs.
Visitor's log. Got it.
Thank you, Show, for answering my question as I was asking it.
Mm-hmm.
Beth?
You think they grew that other girl in the laboratory or something?
She seems sweet, though. Okay, there's...
Rotini? You call Rotini sweet? If I ever had a kid that made me Rotini.
I would be very
My
thankful. Sneak.
Oh, hey, while you're here, I've got an itch just right.
Where are you?
I'm in Brainwave's room. Where are you?
Me too.
Wee.
Someone's coming. Kill it.
Dim it down.
I think the staff might be one of my favorite characters.
Oh, she's going to play a violin. You're going to get all picky, aren't you?
Uh-huh. Sure am. Let's see. Oh. So for our viewers out there, I am a classically trained concert violinist and violist. So this is just painful.
I mean, she's a villain too. With a violin, is that even a thing?
I don't know.
Why don't you ask Pat? But he knows.
Only the most evil people play violin.
Thank you. I did take that quiz, and I am a Slytherin, so there you go.
Like she was slithering up that wall.
Yes, exactly, just like that. Oh, what are we seeing here?
I want to be a hero too.
Uh-oh. Yep, we're going to get a hero there, too. And I just want to know which one she'll be.
Sucks.
Yep.
All that work he did getting that thing back on the road.
Yeah, that's so terrible.
All right, and that was it for Stargirl episode 4, Wildcat. Heidi, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so a few things. One, I really like that this show is like they drop things that come back later. I know a lot of shows do that, but sometimes it's not like either like so like it just doesn't seem as well
Give me
put
a for
together.
instance. What are you talking about?
Like the kid looking for the Pop-Tarts and then they messed the toaster up. You know, it's just like, you know, just little things like that. But like, I heard the cat in the back seat of that car and there was that cat. I knew immediately. So it was kind of like, okay, I get it. So it's not necessarily like an anvil, but it's nice to see that they're thoughtfully putting things in to help the viewers put things together.
Meanwhile, I was like, can Yolanda control cats? Like, what's the deal with the cat?
No.
I didn't get it.
No, I got it immediately as soon as I saw the cat. I was
It
like,
is
oh,
late
no.
as we're recording this.
Yes,
so,
it is. And then the other thing is I'm not surprised, but also terribly disappointed in Yolanda's parents. You know, it could have gone one of two ways, and I was like, oh, bring out the Cliff Huxtable on this one because, you know, that could be that way. But on the other side of it, we were kind of on the side of she has been punished enough, and she said it herself. And so the parents deciding to dismiss her again means that she is doing something even worse. Like if they had accepted her, she probably would not have put on that suit again.
I'm not sure I understand the Cliff Huxtable. I mean, thinking he's going to roofie some women, or what?
Oh my God. Way before that,
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about like
the character of Cliff Huxtable.
Yes, the episode. I think it was like the first episode of the Cosby Show where Theo was like, "Oh, I just want you to love me for me, Dad." And he's like, "Get out, basically, go to your room and be a kid or whatever." Right. So I was expecting something along the lines of either the hug or like in that spectrum, and they kind of landed more in that area, except less.
I understand from a parental perspective. I understand disappointment. I understand upset, but I don't understand not being upset for her as well, and not understanding the cost that she's paying for that one mistake daily, that it's already mounting and becoming an issue for her. Like, to me, that's really short-sighted of the parents. Yes, a punishment was due for making that choice, if nothing else to make her think twice about making such a choice again. Parents have to make those calls sometimes. However, 3 months later, treating her like an outsider, you're not making anything better.
Yeah,
you're not repairing anything. It's literally just you're mad and don't have anywhere to put it, and you're putting it in the wrong place.
I mean, they're just one step away from throwing her out. And
right.
I was actually making a joke earlier when I said, "Oh, hello, disgrace," but literally they said you are a disgrace, and it's like, but that's your kid, as parents are like, we can understand that your kids are never going to 100% live up to your expectations, nor should they. And so
since they were kind of, we got the hint that they were possibly religious, it brings to mind the notion of we all sin differently. There has to be an understanding of there's not anybody that's perfect. Nobody has made all the right decisions. And so as a parent in that position, I would think you would want to try to remember something dumb you did that had lasting consequences, because I think we all have those kinds of things that would help us empathize and understand that she's paying a cost for something she did 3 months ago, and it's going to continue to follow her around. She can't take that back. She can't fix it. So how can you, as a parent, support her in that place, knowing that she's probably learned her lesson, knowing that, you're not done parenting this child yet. You've got to do something. And it seems like now this may be because they're building a larger arc for this character.
Yeah, hopefully.
Excuse me. But I hope that they don't just leave it here.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I'm like, they are never going to expect that, if something happens to her as she's Wildcat, that's going to be so much more traumatic for them for not having, helped her and been there for her as parents in that time. So they're really going to have a hard time with that. I really did enjoy Yolanda. She seems like a smart girl, actually. So it's kind of refreshing. A lot of these shows tend to write teenagers as pretty stupid, or short-sighted, or poor decision makers, and
or unable to learn from their mistakes.
Right. And so she did make a poor decision, as a teenager might, but she seems very capable and competent. So
and she realized that, and even when she had a moment to to get revenge or whatever she thought revenge might feel like, she still had some compassion because the moment kind of took her by surprise that maybe there's real feeling there. And we don't know that the guy, as much as we may not care for Henry based on other things that we've seen, we don't know that he's the one that showed that picture to her, to that other girl before she released it. So I don't want to lay that on him either. But I definitely like, and I think that it's timely to show a teen girl having to deal with that sort of an issue. I'm still a little bit frustrated with Courtney not thinking through her decision making. Yolanda may be a good choice for this character, for Wildcat. However, she didn't have any way of knowing that. She just kind of took a shot in the dark, and I kind of want to see her thinking through those decisions more carefully. And I definitely want to see her respecting Pat and what he knows more. Yeah. We joked and said a broken clock is right twice a day, but she's really not thinking through things. And Pat, for all of his being overly cautious, is being overly cautious because she's a young woman who does not have the experience to be making some of those decisions. Yeah. And
I can't imagine he'll be thrilled to find a new member of this team.
Right. But at the same time, some of that's on him because he's not being decisive in moments that require that decisiveness, which is probably why he wasn't higher up in the ranks of the JSA and more capable. It's probably why Starman didn't say, here, you do my job for me.
Yeah, anyone but you. Sorry.
Yeah, anybody but you. But yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying this so far.
Yeah,
I think I like this a little bit better than the last episode, mainly because I like Yolanda and I like, getting to know her backstory some. So I think maybe they're going to continue to do that, build out. We'll see a little bit more of this person next week and a little bit more of that person the week after until we have a team assembled maybe. And I'm into that. I just hope since Courtney is the star of this show, since she's the character that is the main character of this show's named after her, I hope that she becomes somebody that I can root for more. Yeah. Right now, it's just like she's fumbling through it.
Yeah, she's stumbling
and she's
around.
Got way too much power to be making risky calls like that. Yeah. Maybe in a movie, it would make sense for her to be, if we were talking a trilogy of movies and building out a longer story.
Well, I mean, in a movie, the building of the team would be a montage, and we'd be even more critical of it.
Right, so. But I'm saying like a trilogy of movies or something. Like if you're building out her character, it makes sense to have the first movie being her fumbling around. But if they don't do something about that after, I don't know how many episodes we're going to get in the season, but if they, if we're a third of the way through or a fourth of the way through now, which is possible given some of the other links of some of the other seasons on the DC Universe shows, then I would hope that she would start finding her footing more quickly. Yeah. And listening to Pat and Pat listening to her. And I don't think that's a one-way street. Like, no. I don't think because Pat's the adult, it means he doesn't have stuff to learn from Courtney.
Sure.
I just think that when it comes to the danger that these people represent, he's the one that has the factual information. She needs to be more willing to listen to that. And he needs to listen to her when it comes to sometimes, even if you're scared and even if it's dangerous, you've got to take a stand. Mm-hmm. So they have something to learn from each other. I just hope they do it. I just hope they get us there.
Yeah. I feel like we've watched the first of these join the team sort of episodes, and I feel like we're probably going to get a couple more.
Right.
So I guess we'll just see how it goes. I feel like I don't know that girl's name whose parents are her best friend, but if we see her join the team, that'll be an interesting dynamic to bring to it. And if we don't, I'm sorry, she's cute, but yeah.
And I think the reason, by the way, that the click pin didn't work is because it didn't work for her. I think the genie's waiting for the right person,
which is a good thing, I think,
to come along, because it's not an item; it's a being, and so I don't think he'd just snap to for anybody.
Nope.
Anyway, I am definitely excited to see where the show goes. Yeah. I'm definitely on board. I hope you don't find that we're being too critical. We make comments on things that feel off to us, but we do that with every show, so we're not being particularly hard on Stargirl. It's just, it's early days and it's finding its footing, and you know, we're going to point out things that we find funny or things that seem amiss to us, but we're still on this ride and we still
definitely
are enjoying it. Otherwise, we wouldn't continue doing it. Definitely, we want to hear from you. Let us know what you thought of this episode down in the comments below. And if you want to see the full length unedited reaction from us, then you can join us on Patreon. That link will be in the description as well. And if they want to keep seeing content like this, Heidi?
You need to like and subscribe. Please.
That's right. Commenting's optional, but we love to respond to those.
We've been really enjoying the comments that we've been getting, so thank you so much for the few people who have jumped on board to let us know what you think.
And listen, we're not trying to blow this channel up overnight. We value every single one of you that subscribes. We watch that number daily, and every time there's a single person added to that subscription list, we celebrate. Even if Heidi's at work, I text, we got another subscriber. Woo! So that is just how nerdy we are.
Yes.
So we thank you for joining us for this episode. Be back for the next one, and we'll see you next time. Bye.